yoga mat and practice. So for today's practice, you're going to need a blanket or two, a cushion, a pillow, something to sit on, and something to rest your head on, and a couple of blocks if you have them. If you don't have yoga blocks, find some cardboard boxes or something to support your hands. So let's go ahead and get started by coming all the way down onto our backs. Feel free to take a blanket or a pillow and slip it underneath your head. Work your way all the way onto your backs here. And take your time and begin to wiggle around a little bit. Settling in, just making any sort of movement like you're dusting. Just cleaning off all the dust and everything before we settle down into our practice. Shift from side to side. Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale it out through the mouth. Generous breath in. Exhale. This is when you exhale, let the feet fall away from each other. Perfect. One more time. Inhale. Take it all in. Exhale. Let it all out. Let the shoulders, the arms, the legs, the hips, everything become really heavy as you begin to sink into the mat and sink into the floor, the earth. Close the eyes. Close the lips. And begin to breathe in and out through your nose. Relax the jaw. And then just simply acknowledge any external energy that's going on right now. So that may be the pitter-patter of feet, two-legged, four-legged. It may be music in the background, a TV, a car driving by, a siren, the dishwasher running, a fan overhead, a clock ticking. So we bring ourselves to our mat, just acknowledging that the world continues to turn, to spin, but that the practice is all about us for this next hour. So after you've acknowledged all that, shift your focus now to your breath. And then just begin to notice the breath. Nothing to fix here, just notice the breath in, the breath out, and if it helps to count, or silently say to yourself, breathing in, breathing out. And then staying right where you are, I'm going to push myself up so you can hear my voice a little better. Keeping your eyes closed, noticing your breath in, noticing your breath out. Notice the qualities of that breath. And by that I mean the temperature. Is it cool, entering your body, and a little warmer as it leaves? Is it focused any particular place in your body? Do you notice it most when you breathe in the nostrils? Do you notice it's concentrated in any particular part of your body? Notice the length of the inhale and the length of the exhale. Are they the same or are they different? And again, there's no wrong answer here. You're just simply observing, using the breath to draw you into your practice, letting it anchor you as you move through the postures. Does the breath make your chest rise and fall, your belly rise and fall? And do you feel if the breath gets stuck anywhere? Maybe it's not getting to a particular part of your body. And just observing the sensations of the breath, experiencing the breath. And if the mind begins to wander away, that's okay too. Acknowledge that and come back to the sensations of your breath. And then taking 2 or 3 more mindful breaths here. And then softening your attention here, shifting your awareness to my voice, staying right where you are. I'd like for you to think about the first time you ever went to your yoga class, your very first yoga class ever. And then if you're like me, just thinking about it makes me smile. So I hope it does you as well, because mine wasn't that pleasant, actually. So you may have approached your yoga class for any amount of reasons. Stress release, you wanted to learn how to breathe better, you wanted to be challenged, maybe you had a friend drag you in off the street, or maybe you had a friend that said, oh, you really have to come experience yoga, it'll change your life. And so I walked into my class, as I'm sure you did too, probably very intimidated, thinking maybe everyone's better than me, I can't touch my toes, I'm not sure I can do this, what am I doing here? But it doesn't take you long to learn all the benefits of not just the physical practice, but everything else that yoga teaches us and how it mirrors our life off the mat. So things my yoga practice has taught me is to love and appreciate my body a little more. The movement, the things it can do, it really can do a lot more than what I ever dreamed it could do. My practice has taught me to be patient. Okay, probably need to work on that one a little more. My practice has taught me to be open to new things, new experiences. My practice is still teaching me to not compare myself to other people. It's taught me to be a better listener, to slow down, to be present. It's brought me a little more confidence. It's teaching me to be compassionate. And it's also teaching me to be vulnerable. It's okay to be vulnerable. But I think the most important thing that my practice has taught me is how to breathe and how I can breathe through my practice off the mat, life's ups and downs, life's twists and turns, life's imbalances, when life turns me upside down, and how to stretch, even how to breathe through stretching even more than what I could possibly think I could stretch. Because sometimes life really stretches us to our limits, right? But we breathe through all of that. So with all that in mind, maybe one or two of those things has resonated with you. Bring your palms to your heart, either stacking one palm on top of the other or in prayer pose, your choice. And then with the eyes closed, suddenly set a personal intention or an offering for your practice. What has your practice taught you? And what is it in your practice that you've maybe noticed that you want to cultivate a little more of? A little more compassion, challenging yourself a little bit more. You never thought that you could balance on one leg. You never thought you could touch your toes. So once you've crafted your intention, breathe into that, charge it up with your energy, and then invite that intention into your heart and let it rest there through your practice. So we'll revisit that as we move through some of the postures. And then with your next exhalation, release the arms out to the side, turn the palms up, let your arms become heavy, and then put a bend to the knees, and then just gently begin to move the knees from one side and then the other. Letting the pace of your breath set the pace of the movement. So inhale to center and exhale over to one side. So my practice has taught me how to focus in on that breath, move with the rhythm of my breath, the rhythm of life. If you feel like you need to hold your knees on one side, go ahead and do that for a couple of breaths, pausing. Adding any sort of arm stretch that you'd like. My breath has also taught me, my practice has also taught me, that when I'm breathing shallow, brings me back to awareness that perhaps I am being anxious, judgmental, not in a good place. My practice has really taught me a lot of awareness, focusing on that breath. Come back to center and release the knees in the opposite direction if you're holding on one side. Stretch through the arm if that feels good too. Yeah, my practice has taught me what feels good in my body and what doesn't as well. When to say no. And then gently come back to center. Hug both knees in, wrapping your arms around your shins or underneath your knees. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. My practice has taught me to be gentle with myself while still challenging myself. And then from here, hugging that right knee in, plant that left foot down onto the mat. And then flex the toes, curl them back towards your shin, and then just begin to do some knee circles with that right knee. Taking the knee out to the side, drawing it back to center. So we breathe through circles, just like a dog sometimes will chase its tail. Sometimes we can feel in life that we're running around in circles, right? Reverse the direction of the circle. Yeah, it's okay to do U-turns. And even while we're circling, we're breathing. And then bringing that knee back to center with that left foot still planted on the mat, the knee pointing straight up to the sky. Drop that right foot down next to it, and then release that right knee out to the side. So the left knee's pointed up, the right knee's out to the side. So we're beginning to stretch into those inner groins, the inner thigh muscles. Take a breath or two here. If you feel like you want to take those arms up overhead and create space in the side body, that's fine. My practice has taught me when to slow down, when I feel like I need to slow down. Another breath in and out here. And then with that right knee still out to the side, extend that left leg long so you look like you're in tree pose, only on your back. Activate that left leg, so you're going to press through the heels, the toes curl back towards you like you're standing on that side wall. And then once again, breathe. And then from here, with that left leg long, take that right ankle and cross it over the knee. And cross it over far enough so you're not bone on bone. And then let that right knee just become heavy. So we're deepening into the stretch, into the hips a little bit. Notice what parts of the body feel a little sticky or tight. Take your breath there and see if that right knee can become a little heavier. Good. From here, keeping that ankle right where it's at. Put a bend in that left knee, slide that left foot to the mat with the help of your palm, and give that thigh, that knee a little push away. Relax the shoulders at the same time, relax the throat, come back to the breath. And again, noticing any sticky parts of the body, see if you can breathe through that. Yep, life becomes sticky, right? But we still have that breath. We breathe through those sticky areas. We're still here, aren't we? Keeping all that, interlace your fingertips behind your left thigh. Draw both knees in. You can use that elbow to push that knee away. You can add a little rock. Soften through the shoulders and the neck. And then just breathe in and out here. Good. Take one more conscious breath here. And drop that left foot down. Uncross your legs. Walk the feet wide. And then move the knees from side to side, just letting go of the posture. Whether it was the perfect pose or not, my practice has taught me to let go. Still working on that one too, along with the patience. Oh, how we love to hang on to things, right? Come back to center. Heel toe those feet back together once again so the inner edges of your feet are touching. Hug the left knee in. Give it a squeeze. And then just gently begin some knee circles here too. Perhaps noticing, practice has taught us awareness, how this side may feel a little different from the other side as we circle on this side of the body. Reverse the direction of the circle. then coming back to center, plant that left foot down, keeping the right knee pointed up toward the ceiling. Release that left knee out to the side. So different stretch on this side of the body. It may feel different, may feel the same, doesn't matter. We're just noticing. And breathing through it all. On your next exhale, release that right leg long, coming into tree pose on this side. Activate that right leg, curl those toes back toward you. And if you want to, stretch the arms up overhead, coming into your version of tree, that's fine too. Relax the shoulders. If you feel like your shoulders are crunching up over your ears, put a bend in those elbows. Yeah, everybody's tree looks a little different. My practice has taught me to honor that difference. Keeping that right leg activated, cross the left ankle over. And then just surrender into gravity here. Now this hip is feeling a little more tight than the other, but I'm breathing through it. Yeah, you breathe through the tightness, the times it feels a little sticky for us. I stay with it sometimes. It can be a little, like life sometimes, a little vulnerable. From here, you'll put a bend into that right knee. And with the help of your left palm, just gently begin to nudge that knee, that thigh away from you. And then interlace your fingertips behind that right thigh, drawing those knees in. Add a little rock if you'd like. Soften into the breath. And give it a couple of breaths. Usually after a few breaths you might even feel something becomes a little more spacious. A few more breaths here, guys. And then drop that right foot to the mat. Uncross the knees, walk the feet wide, heel toe the feet, move the knees back and forth a couple of times. Letting it go. Yeah, my practice has taught me how to let go. Some things let go easier than others, right? Coming back to center, heel toe the feet once again, so the inner edges of the feet touch. Take an inhale here. On an exhale, release those knees out to the side, so the soles of the feet are now touching each other. Inhale, come back to center, and then exhale, release. Good. One more time. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release. Arms can come out to the side in goalpost pose or in a T. If this is too intense, you can take some of the intensity away by drawing those toes toward the end of the mat. If you'd like to activate a little bit more energy, heels a little closer to you. So stay here for a breath or two. Tap into what you need. And then if you find a little bit of softness creeping in, see if you can stretch a little further. more breaths. And then with the help of our palms, draw those knees together. Heel toe the feet wide, and then once again, just move the knees from side to side. If you want to hold on one side for a couple of breaths, honor that. And coming back to center, hug both knees in, give yourself a nice squeeze here. And then option to either roll over to one side or rock yourself up to a tabletop. While you're moving to your tabletop, bring your blocks to the front of the mat. And if those knees are feeling a little sticky, slip one of those blankets or cushion underneath your knees. Once you get to tabletop, spread the fingertips nice and wide. Palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And then begin to breathe through a few cat-cows, adding any sort of organic movement here that feels good. So maybe you want to wiggle a little bit here. Circle the hips. Shift forward or back any amount. Gaze over your right shoulder and then your left. And then bringing the big toes to kiss, separate the knees, and then send those hips back toward the heels, coming into child's pose. So we'll come to an active child's pose here. Elbows up off the mat. Palms wide so that pinky finger feels the outer edges of your mat. No crunching around the ears here. And then forehead slowly melts to the mat. If that's not going to work for you, bring a block and place it underneath your forehead. Take another inhale here. Can you maybe tiptoe those fingertips away from you just a little bit more, growing long in the side body and perhaps feeling a stretch in that lower back. And noticing sometimes how stretches can feel really good once you soften into them, once you breathe into them. Take a couple of more mindful breaths here. And then use your next inhale to rise all the way back up. Yeah, stretch it out in any way and work your way back to a tabletop pose. Nice strong arms. Inhale your right leg long behind you. On an exhale, draw that knee over toward the left elbow. Inhale, extend, knee to the right elbow, taking that hip out. Inhale, exhale, draw the knee in toward the nose, and then step that foot up between your palms. Grab your blocks, pick a size of the block that works for you to give yourself as much space as you'd like. And then begin to breathe through bending and straightening your knee. Yeah, so sometimes the journey's straight, sometimes the journey's bent, but we breathe through it all. Moving with the pace of your breath here. So move as fast or slow as you're breathing. So that may be faster or slower than my cues, and that's okay. The next time that leg is straight, peel the toes up. Energetically pull your heel back toward you, and then press through the toes like you're pressing on a gas pedal. Charge up that leg. Breathe into the energy you've created. On an inhale, see if you can lengthen, shifting your heart out just a little bit more. And then on an exhale, can you surrender just a bit? Yeah. My practice has taught me to surrender. Lean into it, breathe into it. Good, one more breath here, guys. And gently bend the knee, set the blocks to the side, step back to tabletop, go ahead and shake it out any amount here. And then we'll work through the other side. So come back to your tabletop. Inhale, send your left leg long behind you. On an exhale, draw that knee over toward the right elbow. Inhale, extend, knee to the left elbow. Inhale, extend, knee to nose, step that foot all the way through, up between your palms. Find your blocks once again, and then with the rhythm of your breath, begin to bend and straighten that leg. The next time that leg is straight, again, energetically pull that heel back toward you so you feel that left hip go back. Press through the big toe. Press through that gas. Activate that leg up. Drop into the breath here. Drop into the stretch. Yeah. See if you can shift your heart forward any amount and see if you can surrender just a little bit more. Bend into that knee. Set those blocks to the side. Step back to a tabletop pose. Go ahead and shake it out. And then bring those big toes together once again. Child's pose. Again, another active child's pose here. So palms walk wide. Keep the shoulders free. Crawl those fingertips away from you any amount as you push back through the hips. Forehead drops all the way down to the mat or to a block. And then if you'd like to move your head from side to side, massaging that third eye, massaging the creases out of your forehead that always crunches up when we're stressed. And then resting in this child's pose, it's a great time to come back to that intention that you set. Things that my yoga practice has taught me. To breathe through the bends and the curves. To breathe through the stretches, even when we're stretching farther than we've ever stretched in our lives. And then from here, you're going to slide those palms back towards you. Or lift the hips up, curl the toes, and work your way to a down dog. If down dog isn't in your practice, you slide those palms back towards your knees. Lift the hips up, curl the toes, and then come to a forward fold at the back of the mat. If you're in down dog, take a moment here to pedal out the heels. Stretch through the arms. Stretch through the legs. My yoga practice as a yoga teacher has taught me how to speak upside down in down dog. So if you're in down dog or forward fold, come to stillness here. And if you're comfortable, you can even close the eyes. And then shift your attention once again to your breath. And notice how you're upside down, but you're still breathing. when life turns us upside down, we still have our breath. We can breathe through it. You've got this. You can do it. If you're in down dog, walk your palms back towards your feet so we're all in a forward fold at the back of the mat. Tuck chin to chest here. Take the breath into the back of the neck and into the upper back. And then just let everything fall away from you. Yeah, let it go. Here's those words again, letting it go. We're all still working on that, or at least I know I am, and letting it go. And then slide the palms up to the shins, lift up halfway. When you exhale, surrender. Inhale, lift up halfway. Nice flat back. Exhale, fold. Good. One more time. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, bow. Good. With nice strong legs on your next in-breath, slowly rise all the way up. And let the back of the heart lead the way. So stay out of your head. Heart leads the way. Rise all the way back up. And stack the shoulders over the hips so the head's going to come up last. And then when you get there, give yourself a couple shoulder rolls forward and back. Inhale, float the arms all the way up. Breathe beyond the fingertips here. Yes, stretch, stretch, stretch. Even farther than you've ever stretched in your whole life. Yes, breathe into that. Stretch a little more on the inhale. Soften into the exhale. One more time, inhale, and then bring the palms together. Float them to heart center. Take a moment here to close your eyes once again. Come back to that intention. Yeah, nice strong legs. We're standing, we're breathing. Notice if anything else is beginning to pull at your attention to take you away from your practice. Yeah, the world continues to spin, but we still have our breath. Yes, everybody else needs to stay away until I finish my practice, right? Yoga has taught me that it's okay to nurture myself. That by doing this, it makes me a better person so I can serve when I'm done. Gently blink the eyes open. Yoga teaches us about how to breathe through balance. Yes, we all are off balance, especially today. So if you like to step off your mat to balance, that's fine too, which I'm going to do. I'm going to step off my mat. Anchor through your right foot, second and third toe pointed forward. So we're going to take this in baby steps, coming into tree. So make a little kickstand here with your feet. Stack the feet. And then when you're ready, slide that foot above or below the knee. Palms can come to the heart here. Focus on your breath. And then if you want to take your version of tree, that's fine too. So when you have found balance, notice the breath. Yeah, you're staying on one leg and you're breathing. And if you're out of balance, that's okay too. You still have your breath. It's not the end of the world here. Take one more conscious breath here. Mindful breath in and out. Good. And then exhale, release. Yeah, shake it out. Smooth out the breath here. We can still breathe when life is out of balance. When we feel out of balance, sometimes we just energetically feel out of balance or out of sorts. Or life isn't going as smoothly as we would like it to. Anchor through the left foot, second and third toe forward. Baby steps here. If you're ready to come into tree, go right ahead and do that. If you'd like to take it a little slower, kickstand, stack the feet. And then slide that foot above or below the knee. Palms can come to the heart or your version of tree, whatever you're comfortable with. past. My practice has taught me to honor my journey. So each practice is different. Sometimes I like to come into tree. Sometimes I just like to stay here and focus on my breath. Honor which side may be out of balance. Maybe we're out of balance on both sides. You were able to do it. It doesn't matter. And then simply release when you're ready. Come to stand nice and strong. Bring the palms to the heart. Smooth out the breath here. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. Tap into that breath. And then gently blink the eyes open. Once again, send those palms up overhead. Separate the fingertips. Take the breath way beyond the fingertips here. Yeah, open your heart. Breathe in, breathe out. Stretch even farther than you've ever stretched in your whole life. Yeah. On your exhale, fold at the waist. Walk yourself back to a down dog or bend deeply into the knees. Roll over onto your hands and knees. If you're in down dog, find that tabletop. Let the big toes kiss. And we'll take a rest in child's pose. See if you can make this another active child's pose. Lengthening through the side body, crawling those fingertips away from you any amount. One more mindful breath in and out here, guys. And then slowly slide those palms next to your knees. Lift yourself all the way up. And then work your way to a seat. So here's a great time to put a cushion or a blanket underneath your hips. And make sure you have your blocks close by in case you need them. So we'll start off with the right leg extended long, left knee out to the side. So the right toes are pointed up toward the sky, keeps that hip rooted. And if your knee, a couple of ways to use the block. If that knee is lifted too much, you can always slip a block underneath the knee. The other block can be used as an option if you'd like. If you'd like to take a little bit of a different tree pose here with your feet, you can take that block in between, your foot and your inner thigh. So we're going to come to a tree pose here. Activate that extended leg. Sit up nice and tall. On an inhale, float the arms out and up. Take the breath beyond the fingertips. Yeah. Stretch nice and long. And then as you exhale, plant them on the earth. And then begin to tiptoe your fingertips out towards your heel. And feel free to pause halfway. Take an inhale here. Breathe into the stretch. And then once a little softness begins to spill in, see if you can fold a little deeper. Maybe you want to inhale, on your next inhale, you want to lengthen a little bit more. And maybe on the exhale, you want to hollow out the belly and fold a little deeper. Slowly begin to rise all the way back up. Once again, float those fingertips out and up. Stretch nice and long. And then exhale over to the right. Yeah. So we breathe through the twists and turns of our lives as well. Take the twist just to the place that's comfortable for you. Pause. See if you can find a little more length with an in-breath and a little deeper twist with an exhale. On your next inhale, come all the way back to center. Again, take the breath beyond the fingertips here and exhale all the way down. Great. Let's move to the other side. Pause in the middle. Just move the knees a little bit from side to side and then extend that left leg long. Toes pointed up toward the sky. You can see this side's a little freer than the other. I don't need a block on this side, but if you do, feel free to take a block and slip it underneath your knee. If you want to take a little bit of a deeper stretch, you can also take the other block inside. Inhale, fingertips float out and up. And then an exhale to the mat. Slowly begin to walk those fingertips toward your heel. See if you can find some length on the inhale. A little deeper fold on the exhale. And then use the breath to rise all the way back up. Inhale, fingertips float out and up. Grow long through the side body. Stretch farther than you've ever stretched. And then we'll take that twist as we breathe through it over to the left this time. So my yoga practice has taught me to be more compassionate toward myself and toward others. And I'm still a work in progress. So as you are compassionate towards yourself, just take the stretch just to a place that's perfect for you. Inhale, grow a little longer. Exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper. Inhale, come back to center, take the breath beyond the fingertips once again, and exhale, float them out and down. Good, bend the knees, just move the knees from side to side here. Good, and then coming back to center. We're going to put all that together, bring the soles of our feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana. So, same pose we were doing, only laying down at the beginning. Energy can be added by drawing the heels a little closer to you, or taken away if it's too intense by drawing the toes a little farther away from you. So sitting up nice and tall, inhale here. Yeah, so we already know where we're going. Stay present. Practice has taught us that we can breathe through this present moment. Yeah, the next moment will come. Trust that it will. On your next out breath, gently begin to let the heart lead the way as you fold forward. And again, a couple of options here. You can begin to separate your feet. You can use your elbows to activate the inner groins a little bit more. So honoring wherever you are in your practice tonight. Good, a couple more breaths here, guys. See if you can fold a little deeper. Breathe through it. Yeah, you've got this. And And then drop chin to chest, round the spine, slowly rise all the way back up. Beautiful. Hug both knees in. Make yourself into a little ball here. Keeping one block close by, so you have it. Work your way down to your mat. So we'll do a little bit of core work here. Pull the belly in, arms out to the side. Nice full inhale here. On your exhale, take your time, slowly begin to lower all the way down. And once you get there, take those arms up overhead, toes in a different direction. And then hug both knees in, give yourself a squeeze. And coming back to Baddha Konasana. You can come back to that original pose that we were doing when we started, with just the soles of the feet together. We've spent a lot of time opening up the hips. So if you'd like to take it a little deeper, bring a block down by your feet and then bring the soles of your feet together. So it just deepens the stretch a little bit. Let the knees fall away from each other. Let's just gravity take over. And then options to bring your palms to your belly, belly to the heart, one palm to the belly, one to the heart, or arms out to the side. Close the eyes here, find the breath, and then just breathe into that. Yeah, breathe into the stretch. Three mindful breaths here, guys. And then with the help of your palms, draw your knees together. Set the block to the side. Move the legs from side to side. Hug the knees in. And then collect up any layers or props that you want to use to support you in your Shavasana. Work your way to your back. So now's a great time to place a little pillow underneath your head once again. You can roll up one of your blankets, place it underneath your knees. Close the eyes here. Take another inhale. On your exhale, let the feet fall away from each other. Let the body become super heavy and relaxed. Breathe through this rest, just like you breathe through life's twists, life's turns, life's upside downs, life's imbalances. And when life stretches you even farther than you've ever been stretched before. And then keeping your eyes closed. Coming back to your breath. Begin to reawaken your earthen vessel with any small movements. A rock of the head, wiggling fingers and toes, or maybe even taking a stretch, one final stretch in your practice tonight. And then taking your time, hug the knees in towards your heart, give yourself a squeeze, and work your way over to the right side. No rush here, take your time. And then use your arm strength to lift you up as you work your way back to your seat. Joining the palms together in front of your heart, sitting up nice and tall. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, drop chin to chest as you bow into your hands, your heart, and your internal light. And then recalling that intention that we set at the beginning of our practice, the intention to breathe through stretches, life's ups and downs, when you're upside down, when you feel like the carpet's been pulled out from under you and you're out of balance, whether you're twisting or you're turning. Breathe into that intention again and then exhale it away. Plant that seed. You still have your breath. You can still do all of that. Practice has taught us so much to be compassionate with ourselves, to breathe through all of life. Yes. From my heart to yours, thank you so much for watching. From my heart to yours, I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. See you next time on the mat.